On March 24th, 2020, India entered into 21 days of lockdown because of coronavirus. I think that has been a very good decision by our Prime Minister because it has kept the number of cases comparatively much lower than in other countries. While we have crossed the 10,000 infected mark, the number of deaths are still, at last count, about 360 something, less than 400, which is comparatively not a very large number of deaths. So I hope and pray that that continues. But today, I'm here to talk to you about something that just struck my mind. And it's interesting because there's a sort of a biblical perspective to it. There's a, there's a perspective to it that spans many religions. It's in particular about the number 40. Now, why the number 40? I'll tell you why. Now, the first lockdown period that we had between March 24th and today, which is April 14th, was a period of 21 days. Today, on April 14th, Prime Minister Modi has announced that the lockdown will continue till the 3rd of May, which is another 19 days from now. So 21 plus 19 is 40. So 40 days we are going to be under lockdown. Hopefully, that should be enough. And I expect that things should open up after that in phases, but we still have to see. But let's just assume for a moment that the lockdown lasts for 40 days, all right? So the number 40 has a lot of significance in Christianity, in the Bible. It's mentioned many times. It's mentioned about 146 times in the Bible. The number 40 I'm talking about. And according to the Jewish numerology, it's a very significant number. I'll come to that later about what are the qualities of this number. But first, let me just tell you a few things in the Bible where the number 40 is very, sort of relevant. Now, the first time we really hear the number 40 is right in the beginning in the book of Genesis, when Noah is in his ark for 40 days and 40 nights, starting from there. Then when he finally finds land, again he waits for 40 days before setting foot outside of the ark. Moses lived for a total of 120 years, and very interestingly, his life can be divided into periods of 40 years, 3 periods of 40 years each. He went to Mount Sinai for 40 days. Now come to the New Testament. Before the New Testament, Elijah, the prophet Elijah, fasted for 40 days. Now let's come to the New Testament. Jesus Christ spent 40 days fasting in the wilderness. After Jesus Christ was crucified, and then when he came back, when he resurrected on Easter, the period between Easter, when he rose, and the ascension, when he ascended to heaven, again 40 days. So number 40 is like sort of a recurring theme in the Bible. Now come back to the Jewish numerology aspect of it. The number 40 signifies a period of testing, trial, or probation and chastisement. So let's just assume for a moment that we are in this national lockdown for 40 days. Maybe it's extended, but just for the sake of argument, let's just say that 40 days, minimum 40 days at least. That is a fact that in India our lockdown is going to be for minimum 40 days, right? So let's just take that as a example that we will end up spending at least 40 days at home. So yes, it is signifying a period of testing, trial, and probation. One of the things that I have experienced during this lockdown is that, it's given us a chance to really introspect our own selves, our own lives, and it is a period of testing because, we're testing out our old thoughts, our old ideas, because life is going to be different after this. And I personally feel that it's going to be different in a positive way. I think this period of 40 days is sort of like a cleansing period. That's what I feel. Now, there's some other interesting points I want to make about the numerology part. This is all from Jewish numerology. This particular piece of information I'm crediting to a website called todayifoundout.com. And I can, leave a link to this article in the description box. But if you break down 40 into different factors, let's take first 5 into 8. 5 into 8 is 40. 5 multiplied by 8 is 40, right? So the number 5 signifies grace, and the number 8 signifies a new beginning. So the number 5 signifies grace ending in revival or a new beginning, number 8. So this 40-day period, we've gotten through 21 days and we will get through the remaining 19 days. I promise you that. But we perhaps could not have done it without God's grace, because somehow, it's not that bad. We've been in our homes for so many days now. It's not really that bad, because I believe that the grace of God is upon us. And this is going to end in a new beginning, all right? A revival or a new beginning, or a renaissance, as they used to call it, the Renaissance period back in Europe. Now, when 40 is referencing a period of probation, it coincides with the meaning derived from the factors of 5 and 8. When it relates to enlarged dominion or extended rule, then it is related to the factors of 4 and 10. So 4 multiplied by 10. Creation of something new is what the number 4 represents. And perfection and completeness is what the number 10 represents. Once again, in the Jewish numerology. So this was just a different aspect of the whole coronavirus situation. I just realized that 21 plus 19 more days is equal to 40. And I remember reading somewhere, or somebody from my family, one of my aunts who was particularly religious, mentioned to me, or mentioned to my wife, something about, this is going to last for at least 40 days. So I thought that was interesting, and then I looked into it a little more, and from that website that I quoted, I found that, sort of an interesting correlation. So what particularly, I found very interesting was, of course, all the biblical examples of the number 40, but also the meaning of 40, according to the Jewish numerology, is a period of testing, probation, chastisement. And then when you break it up into factors of 5 into 8, grace and a new beginning, and 4 into 10, which is, 4 into 10 was the creation of something new, which is what 4 represents, and 10 represents perfection and completeness. So that's my message for you today. I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, please share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for notifications. And this is the first video that I'm making after the lockdown has been extended, and I shall see you again very soon. And remember, as I have told you in the previous videos, that we are all in this together. This is the first time that our whole world is going through something common, something together, fighting a common enemy, and we are in it together, and you are not alone. You are not alone. All right? God bless you. I love you, and we will get through this. Bye-bye.